Alrighty, heading out to the No Business Overlook, 1/2 mile. You got your bicycle trail. You can walk in either way. You can walk in on the bicycle trail, or you can split off and come up John Muir. Either one's pretty easy. Alrighty, we'll keep on walking. One side note on this trail, I've not seen any, but I've seen more bear scat than any place I've hiked up here. Seems like the bear using the trail a little more than the people are. Another reason to try the trail out, you might get a good view of a big South Fork bear. Hiking buddy of mine said this was an old Jeep trail from years ago. So it looks to be a very flat, easy drive. I want to talk a little bit about one of life's lessons today, and that's not to buy into any stereotypes or preconceived notions about groups of people. One was that a lot of mountain Appalachian type folks were not very intelligent, and I have a lot of issues with that, partially because I'm from this area. But I would challenge you to take a black powder rifle and walk into these woods and live here like families did, the Slavins and the Blevins, and make a go of it for the next few hundred years. These folks knew more about chemistry than we did, because they made their own gunpowder. Now, gunpowder was invented by the Chinese, but it has three main ingredients: potassium nitrate, sulfur, and charcoal. And we call the potassium nitrate saltpeter. Folks around here may have called it niter, but it was mined from these hundreds and hundreds of overlooks and what we call rock houses around the bluff lines. They'd find these yellow seams of rock and harvest that, and through a leaching process get the saltpeter. They knew about weights and ratios because it was 75% saltpeter, 15% sulfur, and 10% charcoal. And they made their own gunpowder. Not sure anybody today could do that. So again, life's lessons: don't buy into the fact that you think or you've read about certain groups of people being unintelligent. They would laugh today at what the American folks have been doing the last few weeks. My great-grandparents had hams hanging in the barn and curing, and beef. Had cellars full of canned goods. And I tell you what, on a cold winter day, you've not lived until you went to the outhouse, sat down on that plank, and beside you was a Sears catalog. Doggone, should have drove back here. This is a very nice road. Again, my hiking buddy told me this was a Jeep trail that his father had a cabin back here and rode back here and all the way back into Yamacross. So another one of life's lessons is you go into these places thinking you're the only person that's been here, and you don't realize that Lots and lots of people lived here before you. To get here, up Divide Road, across the Tennessee-Kentucky line, and about 6 to 7 tenths on the right, you'll see a little pull off for one car and a post with a mountain bike symbol. Again, easiest way is just remember 6 to 7 tenths past the Tennessee line on the right. Like walking down a sidewalk. If you got two cars, you can park one here, park one about 2 miles back south at the John Muir Trail, and you can make a nice loop. I'm guessing about a 6-mile loop, but basically you'd need two cars. So if you want to do a very nice little loop trail, park here, walk out to the overlook, cut back to the right and go back down the John Muir, Sheltoe type trace trail and back to your other car. Having worked in the factory inside for all those years, go into work before daylight, often leave late at night, and always miss the transition from winter to spring. Just seemed like one day I would be driving home and look at the trees and think, wow, when did all this happen? I guess one of the benefits of getting older is that you get to see it happen day by day. If you get out and walk the bluff lines, you'll find various rock houses, and keeping in mind that many of them are mined for saltpeter. If you ever wondered why some rock houses have smooth floors and others full of chunks of rock, it might be that that particular rock house is mined. Also, if you find little fragments of wood under a rock house, that could well be the remnants of the old leaching vats they built. So one thing to kind of think about next time you're out exploring and you're out under these rock houses, look for signs and see if maybe you might have been to a possible old mining site. When you get to you'll see a fork in the road. You need to bear right, look for the John Muir signs on the trees. You transition from the old Jeep trail to the John Muir trail, and it gets to be a much more scenic trail as well. Alrighty, getting ready to bloom out in the next few days. I think when you get to a certain age, they should rely on the distances on the trail. That way, you wouldn't worry about it so much. Now we're here, almost here. Look what I found out in the middle of the woods. Jack in the pulpit. A little cluster by the mountain laurel. Looking down into No Business if I don't fall. Hard to fathom a community that was down there, the No Business area. Couldn't tell by looking at it now, 60, 70 years later. All right, today we found a short way to get to the No Business Overlook Trail. Some fantastic views from to get here. Go about 7/8 of a mile past the Tennessee-Kentucky line. Small pull off. There's a old Jeep road that turns into the John Muir Trail. It'll take you out here to the overlook, No Business Creek overlook. No one on the trail but me today, which is typical. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's a very easy flat trail. Yeah, and just find the Jeep road, get on the John Muir, and it'll come right out to it. Hope you enjoy the hike and hope you enjoy the overlooks. We'll talk to you later. Alrighty, one last look before we head back to the car. Hope you've enjoyed it. Out of Chestnut Ridge out to an overlook, No Business Creek overlook. Come on out and find it and enjoy it. Talk to you later.